Evening, Clayton. How
Hey,
you doing, buddy?
good evening. I'm doing good. It was a busy morning, but yeah, I was on the road. I put on about 200 miles, but we got calves in and took a few opens in. And yeah, we're set to go for tomorrow. But before we get going here, you know what we got to do. Do you
Oh
want to do
yeah.
the honors and read it this time? I'll put it up there. There we
Oh,
go.
okay. Yeah. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
That's right. I think
No,
that
I'm
is the
confused. What does that? Does
what?
that mean? Joe said. Wait a minute.
Oh. I think I know where you're going with
I'm
this.
confused at what Joe said. Not. We're gonna go over that. Not at what that says. I knew what that
Yeah.
meant in second grade.
Yeah. No. I don't want to cuss. Try not to
Whoa!
cuss. Try not to cuss.
Clay said he's not on his game here, so I keep getting his
I am
ding.
not on my game tonight. It
That's
just
all right.
doesn't
You'll
do
come
anything.
out of it, buddy. I'm 100% sure of it.
You know, night before selling calves was a busy day getting ready and getting things ready
Mhm.
this past week. So yeah, and then my dad had surgery. He's doing all right, everybody, but he had a hernia surgery and not a
Good.
complicated one. But you got to remember he's 77
Mm.
years old with some other health
I
complications.
mean,
So it
no
was,
surgery is easy.
it weighed on my mind. That's no doubt about that. So,
Gotcha.
but he's,
Yeah.
I said a lot of prayers. They were answered, and he is now home. And plan to go see him tomorrow after I get back from Mobridge.
Good. Good. And in case anybody who's watches this who's been watching all the episodes, I do have a new. I went without the virtual background. I'm using the banner that one of them that Clay and I have made from Signs and Wonders here in Bismarck.
There we go. Hey,
Pretty sweet. Check us out on YouTube and
YouTube.
Facebook. And now, by the way, just today I got us going. We're on the Twits. We're on Twitter. At
So,
Guns in the 701.
all right, Guns in the 701 can put out mean tweets.
I don't think I'm gonna put that one on you. Test it out on whatever it was, but I mean, we're gonna test them a little bit.
That'll probably get us knocked off. We don't want to do
Yeah, I
that.
would. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Something about a swinging guy and a national holiday, something like that.
Yeah, it was. I got a kick out of it. I got the gist of it, but yeah,
Oh, you know what I forgot to turn on? Sorry. Forgot to turn the live chats on. Oh,
okay. Oh, we do need that. We do love the
gotta
live
have
chats.
that.
If you're listening, you know we like live chats. If you're new to the show here, feel free to throw in a comment, ask a question.
Braxton loves your new background.
Does he? Hey, all
There.
right. Thanks, Brax. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, Waylon,
Appreciate
good
you
to see
listening
you.
too.
So I know that Marty is planning to listen in if he could get internet to work, and we're glad to have him listening over there. And yeah, I think it's going to be a good show. So, oh, look there, you got another one right there, Lynette.
Hey,
Got back on
that's why I
Twitter.
told Clay. I said we're getting on the twits because if Elon. Hey, because you never know how long Facebook. They're still fascist, so
Yeah, and I
you
can
know.
tell you right now, every day I go on there. I go on about once a week. You go on a lot more than me. As I just had it with them after spending
Mhm.
120 days in fascist book jail. But I can't say it's gotten any better, and I think it's got more complicated to use as far as him switching all that crap over to Meta and trying to manage a
Mhm.
page. I don't know.
Mhm.
I think they're finally seeing a downward swing. I know he laid off a bunch of people, and his stock lost a bunch of money, and it was
Mhm.
good to hear that. Warmed my heart to hear that them old companies are going to crap.
Right.
So,
All right.
well,
Well,
I think we need to get to the business at hand, though.
yeah. Yep. So it's been talked about a little bit. In fact, Scotty Bachmeyer and I hit on it a little bit. What was that? Saturday I was up. I can't remember now. Yeah,
Saturday, yep.
Saturday's when yeah.
And if you
Hey,
guys missed
Dave, how you
that, hit
doing,
our
bud?
YouTube channel. It's up there. Yeah, David, I didn't get a chance to call you back today after I was visiting with you, but yeah, we got a bunch of stuff from David, and we got to get him on here. I want him to
Yeah.
talk about this barrel break-in thing too.
Hey, Brax, it is stupid how Apple. Elon said he might start having to make phones, so I'm more than happy to switch phones.
Yeah.
Hey, Kenny Lanou, my buddy. Kenny knows all about getting booted off of Facebook. First time he's listening. Hey, Kenny, hope we don't disappoint you, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my best. I try every week. Kevin's on. Hey, Kevin, how you doing, bud?
Kevin, just to follow up on the conversation we had on Telegram in the Guns and 701 chat room. Man, I do it. Mary is awesome on Ladies of Another View, and everybody on there. I wouldn't be afraid at all if you get on there, and she can walk you through and send you a link to get you to come in and on. I'm guessing they'll use Zoom, but if that don't work, we can make it happen through Restream here. That's our platform, and it actually works pretty good now, and we've gotten a lot better at it. So I would really encourage you to do it, Kevin.
All right. So, hey, Cap, good. Thanks for joining us. So Thanksgiving Day or the day, I think it was the day after, I don't know, like one of them 2 days, he was out to handing turkeys all like he was good old Joe and good dude and all that. And he's not a good guy. Like, just like Buck Sexton says, the guy's not a good guy. He's an a-hole.
Yes.
So they asked him about the assault weapons ban because there was a shooting at this Walmart or whatever earlier in the Virginia. Where was it again? Chesapeake, Virginia.
Chesapeake.
And our fearless leader, Mumbling Mummy, told this reporter, allowing semi-automatics is sick, just sick. It has no socially redeeming value. Zero, none. Not a single solitary rationale for it except profit for gun manufacturers. I'm going to get rid of assault weapons. Okay, Clay, let's just kind of break this down. It's sick. It has no socially redeeming values. I can find plenty of stories where people used AR-15s to defend themselves.
Absolutely. Well, we've had some right in our happy ending of the week, and let's not forget Texas. That guy, he went down and he took his gun, and it was an AR, and he saved a whole bunch of people.
Do you think the people in the church thought that was socially redeeming? I bet you they did.
I bet they did too.
He is dumb, Keith. You're right. He literally is a dumb guy. Joe Biden is, but I mean, he's there, so we got to deal with it. He's a dumbass, but
smart enough to stay there for 45 years, unfortunately. But
not a single solitary rationale for it, except for to profit for the gun manufacturers. So gun manufacturers are supposed to make guns that nobody wants. And they're not supposed to make a profit on it. It's supposed to be just like a hammer. That's it. Here, this is your gun. It says gun on it, like they give you in Russia or something.
Yeah,
that's not how it is. Companies make products that people like and they want. I love AR-15s. I like AK-47s, but AR-15s I like the best.
Yep.
They make them for profit. They're not going to make something and not make a profit. I mean, it's like somebody making caps and then selling them for what they had them made for, not making a profit. Or less.
I mean, and that's kind of, we all know what the left thinks of that and capitalism. And Kevin just chimed in. But Doug, hey Doug, good you're on here again. Lauer Auto Repair guy is one of our sponsors, and we appreciate him every day. We're gonna get that changed too after. But we got a thing for that when we do our.
Here, Dougie, I'll give you a good one right here. 258-6308. Lauer Auto Repair.
Hammer used a semi-auto on Bonnie and Clyde. Yeah, and it was old school Remington Model 8. Yeah.
Okay, so Doug asked what assault weapon was used in the last ones, which I just said the guy at the Walmart at Chesapeake. 6 people he killed. Could have went and killed more, but guess what that was? That was a handgun.
That was a handgun, wasn't it?
A handgun. 6 people. And
what's even better yet, it's not just a handgun. They've got some of the things that they've wanted in that state, and guess what? None of it worked. None of it worked.
Yeah, I mean, Virginia, they got a whole bunch of crap. They got red flags. I know.
Eric's comment.
Him and Dustin Ellerman, they're cutting trees down.
Well, I was with him last year when we did it. It was quite a hunt. We had to sneak up on that tree, but we got him with that AR.
Every time Joe starts talking, another AR lands in my Christmas stocking. I love it.
I like that. Kind of like, From a Wonderful Life. I love that. That's great.
Yeah. So
but I gotta say though.
No, go for it, Clayton.
It has nothing to do with what we're talking about with Eric though. We're going to the Slim Buttes, and we got our government extortion permits to cut our tree down in the Slim Buttes. So we're going to be heading there, and maybe I'll try to get some video, Eric. But we'll have to bring the cameras and see if we can't get a little video of that this time.
Load up a couple of 30 clip assault magazines and cut it down.
That's right, Gene. You're right. In Idaho, absolutely.
Yeah. So
go ahead. Let's come back.
So he also said he's going to try and get rid of assault. He's never going to quit. He already said, everybody knows the lung blower, 9 millimeters. He wants to get rid of them. The guy at the mall there, he did that. So Joe's forgetting something too about you know, when he was talking about ARs and this thing, I'm sure, but Virginia Tech, that was the second biggest, or second or third, I can't remember, highest casualty mass killing in North America. You know what Cho used there? He used a Glock 9mm and a 22 handgun. They're both handguns with 10-round magazines, and he killed upwards of 20 people and wounded like 30 some. So, okay, we get rid of all AR-15s, and then we got handguns because, I mean, this is redundant. We went over, but we have to, like I said, because they do.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's been. Then we get rid of those. I mean, I didn't write them down. I should have. One of these times I'm gonna. These other mass shootings, like the naval shipyards there in Delaware or whatever, that guy went in there with his pump 12 gauge. He killed 12 or 13 people and wounded another 18 or 20. I mean, there's numerous things where they use a shotgun to kill a bunch of people. And Clay said that before. I mean, if you want to get in close and do it, and it's, you know, that's one of the things you'd want to use for sure. Which they would. Been used in plenty of school shootings. A shotgun too. There's a 30-30's actually been used. You know,
and we've seen it overseas where they've already banned the guns we have, and what do they turn to? A different gun. You know, get rid of a semi-auto, they go to a bolt. If get rid of the
should we bring that up? I was telling you about here in the pre-show play.
For it.
Okay, so
use the accent.
Yeah. Okay, the story comes from London, England, from Friday, August 13th, 2021. This is the BBC reporting. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Guys, we might want to take an intermission right here.
Yeah, so this guy in London, he killed 5 people. He killed 5 people, and like, how many other did he wound here? Like, I think he wounded 12 more. Guess what that was with? Killed 5, wounded 12, over and under shotgun. No, Joe told you to use.
Oh, that's what you're supposed to have.
So let's say ARs are banned here, 9mm are banned, and the guy goes around with his 22 bolt action and his over and under 12 gauge. You think they're gonna just be like, that's fine, you can go ahead and kill as many as you want with a shotgun. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that one's okay. No, they're not going to do that.
It's hard enough to get in England. Even if you got a shotgun, they make you jump through loops like a dog to get them. You know, and like I said, they go through your social media and all this other garbage. So that guy did, like, so if people just think they happen here, and I can find a bunch of these stories. Here's this other one I was telling Clay about. The guy used a pump shotgun. I can't remember the name of this town in England here. How many? Okay, here it is. Pump shotgun in England. I think this was like in 2018. He killed 12 people, and I can't see the number that he wounded. It was in here. I'm not going to bore you with looking for it, but he wounded a bunch of people, like another 10 or 15 people. So he killed 12, wounded 10 to 15 with a pump shotgun.
Another.
There's been shooting. Yeah. What I mean. You think people like Biden are going to be okay? I'm not okay with that either. But I mean, people use them to defend themselves more than they do to kill somebody. So,
and I'm not so sure, but it seems like over in the UK or somewhere over there, and I'm pretty sure it's UK. Even if it's a shotgun, you have to take it to your gun club and leave it there, keep it locked up, and it's only for sporting purposes, whether it be hunting or sporting clays or trap. It seems like that's their requirement. So it's funny that all this happens over there regardless. Evidently, everybody doesn't follow their archaic regulations as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you got to be a Boy Scout pretty much to even just use your gun over there.
Kevin, you have to sign to buy scissors in England.
Bloody hell, says Doug.
I've seen that. I've had that up there. Bunch of
blokes. I'm not sure if that's English or Australian, but I don't like Clay said they're all gun banners.
We quit really giving a crap about what England was doing about 1776.
Right around there, right?
Right in that,
Yeah. So Clay, are we coming up on our first obscene profit?
We're coming up on a first, obscene profit, and we still haven't gotten to our point, but I think we're making it, and we're getting there. So
we're making it.
We want to thank one of our sponsors because these guys are what keep the show going, and we sure appreciate them. So let's hear a word from Lauer Auto Repair.
Lauer Auto Repair, 309 South Washington Street. That's right here in Bismarck. Doug and the boys, that's a pro Second Amendment shop. Anybody out watching this show is pro Second Amendment. You don't want to give your money to somebody who's not pro Second Amendment. They might be nice people. They might run a good shop. Doug and his boys run a great shop. They treat you right, fair pricing. They get your job done quick. and you know it's going to a pro Second Amendment shop. Deer season coming up, get that hunting rig in there, get that baby tuned up. Doug will get that thing humming like a kitten for you, and you can go through, and all you got to worry about is filling that tag and getting that big buck.
All right. Well, we're having some technical difficulties there.
Yeah, we
anyway,
did
we
say
want to
we're-
thank Doug and Laurado. And
Yeah, go for it, Clayton.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say we are gonna get that changed for Doug, and it is hunting season yet, Doug. It is still deer season. If you got a fuddle loader or you got a bow, you got a bow. You do some real
down here on the res. It's still open.
Yeah,
we're good. If you're coming to the res to go hunting, it's still relevant.
Right. Oh crap. So okay, let's staying on the thing with the AR-15s and the ban and whatever here. Did you ever get that audio loaded for the CNN analyst, Clayton?
I did. Let's see if we can make it play here.
Yeah, make my teeth grind here.
All right, here we go.
Ask you real quickly because we're almost out of time. The president yesterday also calling, he said he wants to bring back the assault weapons ban. Realistically, it is unlikely that will happen given where this country is politically. Is there anything that could be done? There are the most recent numbers from 2020, according to the Firearm Industry Trade Association, more than 24 million weapons of war in this country. What do you do at this point? You're not banning them. And as to your point, there's a lot already out there.
Right. Okay. So you first keep trying to ban them. In other words, that the political momentum is clearly showing that independents and Generation Lockdown, who came out in numbers this last election, may continue to come out on this issue. So they are viewing gun legislation as seriously as pro-gun advocates have been viewing it. So that's what the politics just took a while to catch up. The second is, of course, I think the delay in the ages. I would like to get these weapons off the street, but in the short term, if you can get this, if you can get both state or national legislation to prohibit 18 to 25-year-olds or 21-year-olds from purchasing this weaponry, you are going to limit the number of mass killings. Again, we don't get to, we're not going to stop everything, but why wouldn't you try to at least try to get things safer than they had been? And the data is just clear, just looking at the data, that 18 to 25-year-old male bracket, they should not be having these guns, period. There's just no reason to.
Stopping one, saving one life, you would think would be enough to have that serious discussion. Juliet, always good to see you. Appreciate it. Thanks.
So much to go through here, Clayton.
Yeah, so much. It's just saving one life. But I guess abortion, you don't need to just save one there. That's for liberal. That's fine.
Well, we're gonna have the happy ending, and we got guns that do save more than one life. But let me go back to Biden here before we end. Real quick, it kind of jogged my memory on something here. Remember, Joe said we passed the most significant gun safety legislation in over 2 decades last summer.
Safer communities, unsafe.
How's that been working? How's that been working, Joe? Yeah.
Not very good.
That's just a good start. Don't forget he said that after that pass. That was a good start.
And
this lady said they're going to reduce these mass shootings if they limit it to buying it after you're 26. I just told you this guy in Chesapeake, Virginia, he was 31.
31. So that wouldn't have worked, would it have?
How old was the guy in Vegas? I mean, we don't really know the whole story there, but that guy was supposedly in his 50s, right?
Yeah. And you got to remember, too, Corey, you're right. You can go to war at 17 for the government, but private citizens can't.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin made that point in the chat earlier.
Yeah.
Weapons of war. I just hate that word, too. Weapons of war. Both of my children, my son-in-law, are in the military. No effing way that they're, including myself, would I want to go to war with a magazine jamming AR-15.
You got some bad ARs there, Kenny, because mine run like sewing machines, baby.
Mine run pretty good too.
But so speaking of, let's do it again, Clay. We got to do it.
Military people that are in there, they can join at 17, take boot camp, and then go on to 18 and serve. And they can have all these firearms as long as they're working for the government. Sorry.
We can control them then, see.
They can control them, keep them safe. Yeah.
So we got to do this all the time when we hear this, which I don't mind doing. Weapons of war. Remind me again, Clayton, what the primary weapon was in the Civil War here in the 1860s.
Oh, it was that little musket, black powder. Weapon of war.
Yeah, single shot, a little too. So even before the white man was here and the Indians were warring with each other, what did they use in their wars with each other?
Oh my goodness, those horrible crossbows.
Not even Indians, they had crossbows.
And tomahawks. Yeah, they didn't even have crossbows.
Yeah. So if they're-
Tomahawks and rocks.
And yeah, so getting weapons of war, I'm so sick of this. If you guys are listening, you ever hear somebody say weapons of war, ask them what it is, and then start bringing up at me and Clay to say, because everything is a weapon of war. Before there was even rock, cavemen were beating the hell out of each other to death with their fists. Your fists are weapons of war.
Well, yeah, I mean, weapon of war. It's just it's a catch term that they can basically go out. You want to talk about misinformation? That's what they use against people who live in towns who have no clue as to what it is about firearms and what they do.
Well, she also said, "Get them off the streets." Clay,
They
have you
voting
ever?
at 16. There's a great point.
Yeah, no kidding, Doug. Awesome point, actually, right there. When has voting ever killed anybody? Well, their legislation that they put in is killing a lot of people right now, and the people they put in charge. So weapons. She said, once you get them off the street, these weapons of war. Clay, let's just assume she was trying to say AR-15s. When have you ever seen anybody walking down the street with an AR-15?
Other than me, nobody.
Other than me, I mean, go and put it in my car. I mean,
I very seldom see that.
I'm almost speechless at that stupid comment when I hear that one. Get them off the streets. That would be your gangbang and leftists that love you Democrats. That's who carry their weapons of war in the street.
Yeah,
not normal Americans who abide by the law. There got to be some damn law.
My Colt 1911, definitely a weapon of war. And I have carried that several times on my side, open and concealed. So I guess I'm a weapon of war carrier, and you know what? I make no apologies for it.
You are also an MVE, militia violent extremist.
Again, there you go. Tell everybody what that is.
Militia violent extremist, according to the Biden regime, that is the biggest domestic threat to America is MVEs. That's militia violent extremists. That's guys like Clay with an NRA hat, guys like me with my AR-15 thing behind me. If you got a Gadsden flag, or you got the tattoos on your hand there like Marty Beard.
Oh yeah,
Betsy Ross
don't
flag.
Tread on me, right?
Don't tread on me. There you go. That's an MVE right there, Clayton Pederson.
Right there. How about that one?
Damn South Dakota cowboy.
There's
the guy. Hey, right there. I'm wearing it right now.
There's our weapons of war, guys.
Yeah. This hoodie must be a combat fatigues then, right? My hoodie.
Yeah, gotta be. So
98 miles.
Leading into that, now let's show this. Let's talk about the assault weapons ban. I'm sure everybody has heard the rhetoric and what's coming that Biden wants to push the assault weapons ban. Well, a lot of people, I just had this conversation, think that they're gonna have to introduce it and come through the House, and they don't have the House. Wrong. That does not have to come through the House. And yes, they do still have the House for 30 days or whatever it is, till January 3rd. So we're still dealing with a Democrat-controlled House and a Democrat-controlled Senate. Here's the catch. They don't have to pass it. It already passed, guys. This is the House. And I sounded the alarm about this way back this summer, about H.R. 1808. It's called, they didn't even hide it this time. They just called it the assault weapons ban of 2022. Look at it right there. It was sent over to the Senate August 1st, 2022. Senate received it. It was read twice and referred to the committee on the judiciary. What that means, all it's got to do is make it through committee. And it may. I don't know. I don't think they have the votes right now. They got to hit that 60 vote threshold, and I don't think they have it. And but it could come to the floor, and all that's between that and having an assault weapons ban is the Senate. And then it'll go to Beijing Biden, and he'll sign it. So guys, I encourage everybody. I know what our senators are going to do, even the ones in our neighbor to the south, down South Dakota. But you guys who, like Kevin, you guys are living out there in Pennsylvania or any of those other states that have senators that teeter-totter. And I noticed on some of the stuff I was watching in our analytics, we got people in Utah listening now, which awesome. I didn't realize we were reaching out that far. If you're in them states, California, Utah, New York, Massachusetts, any of the commie states, reach out to them senators. If you're on the,
I don't know if Utah's a commie state, but
they got, maybe not, but they got Romney. So
Mittens, Mittens is a guy you got to talk to there.
And you never know how he's going to go. I mean, here's a guy that's, he's a proclaimed Mormon, but yet he just voted for a bill in the Senate that legalizes gay marriage. I mean, that goes completely against his religion. But Romney's Rhino
Biden's supposed to be a Catholic too, so
yeah. So anyway, that's just part of that, and it's already there. They don't have to pass it in the House, and we got 30 some days to fight this and make sure it does not go onto the floor and get passed in the Senate. So I know that NRA is working on this.
No.
I just got off the phone, this week with them talking. I still have a lot of contacts out there and in Virginia at headquarters, and especially in the ILA.
Just in case anybody doesn't know, I said that sarcastically because Clay and I know people, and there's people out there that think the NRA are spineless, gutless cavers, and we're not going to go into that. But
we covered that last week.
So Clay, I want to go back to this. You're talking about this ban and this security analyst Juliet Cam. She also said, in that clip you played, doing that will limit the number of mass killings. Really, will it? I mean, remember in the 90s when we had their little fantasy ban, you think that didn't stop people from doing that?
Didn't stop them at all. And we remember we had that for 10 years, and it banned everything they're asking for. That bill pretty much did it.
And I just read
they didn't do nothing.
And I just read a couple stories from England where damn near everything's banned. And like I said, you gotta jump through loopholes and climb walls to just have your shotgun. And I promise you, they want it like England and worse. England wants it worse than they have it even. But yeah, it's not going to limit it. I mean, they're not going to feel any better if somebody kills you with a shotgun.
They're not. So if you don't have this gun guide or this guide, this book, get this, guys. Kevin, you were talking about how you wished you understood more of what was going on with the government. Well, here they are. Here's all the laws. Most of them are in U.S. Title 18. Get that book because I've read it cover to cover. That's when you ask why I know so many things on that. Well, I retain what I read, and this has the laws in plain English. So I would definitely get that.
They got it in Spanish.
What's that?
I missed that.
I'm sorry. Spanish. No español.
A good gun control they got. Yeah, the cops in England don't have guns. Yeah, they don't. I said, yeah, right. The bobbies, that's what they're called, aren't they?
Yeah. The bobbies. And Gene,
I mean, for years, I don't think they've had them for years. They carry around their clubs, and others than you see them clips there with the I don't know, the Muslims or whatever, they were going after them with the knife, and the cops didn't have guns, and they diced them up.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like Corey said, bad people do bad things, no matter what.
I know you like guns, and it's your hobby. Find another one.
Yeah, find another one. I still want to go back to this. Gene pointed out it won't stop it. And here's a good example. Columbine was a straw purchase. He didn't purchase that gun. It was a straw purchase. And a straw purchase is meaning that somebody else purchased the gun for you, or it's a pretty defined definition of what that is. But essentially, if I go buy a gun, because I can pass the background check on the 4473 and give it to you, Jamie, knowing that you're probably going to go out there and do something bad with it, or you can't pass the background check, so you have me buy it so that you can get it. That's a straw purchase. And it's illegal. It's already illegal.
And if somebody's going to kill somebody, you think they care about a straw purchase? I mean,
no. It's like I've always said. Think about this. Somebody that's willing to commit the crime of murder. Okay, that's what it is. Felony murder, whether it's first, second, third, fourth degree, it doesn't matter. It's murder. You're wanting to commit the crime to kill another human being. I'm pretty sure that person is beyond reason and really could give a crap about any gun law that exists. That's why they go into schools, which, by the way, what are them considered?
Yeah, soft targets.
Soft targets because they're gun-free zones, and we already have a federal law. Okay, so they ignore that one. It's illegal to kill somebody, both state and federally. But again, what do they ignore? The law to kill somebody. I mean, this is how asinine this is. A guy who's a criminal does not care, especially if he's a violent criminal. He don't care. He's going to commit that crime because he don't care about what the law is. It's that simple. And
so Clay, Clay and I were also talking about something. Yeah, them ghost guns. Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh.
Joe, Clay and I were talking about something the other day because they keep bringing up that this guy in Virginia, he just bought his gun the day before. And what do we say they're angling towards, Clay? Because they keep playing that.
Oh, they want a 5-day, a 7-day, a
Yep.
10-day waiting, whatever waiting period. Put your
Yep.
arbitrary number on it.
If he'd just cool off, he'd forget about murdering people. He'd forget about mass murder if he just cooled off for a few days.
That wouldn't matter, would it? He just do it anyway.
That's how the liberal mind thinks. That's how the leftist brain thinks. He'd committed mass murder. I mean, if he just cooled off, he'd forget about it and it'd never come up in his brain again. Sure.
What I've been waiting for on that Walmart deal, Walmart sells firearms. I want to know if he bought it there. Did the Walmart manager, remember, this guy was a manager. Now, whether he was just a department
they quit
manager,
selling handguns a long time ago, though.
Oh, that's right. They
Remember?
did, didn't they? That's right.
Thank God.
And I don't sell any, or I don't buy any guns there anyway.
They videotape you anyways. Remember with Bloomberg, every gun sale is videotaped.
Isn't that great? All keeps you safe.
Keep that camera on this criminal. He's doing this.
Them crazy guys buying guns. We gotta video them.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're at the bottom of the hour here, so I said I want to take care of our sponsors. So let's do an obscene profit timeout and thank a couple of our sponsors here.
Right on. Lauer Auto Repair, 309 South Washington Street. That's right here in Bismarck. Doug and the boys, that's a pro-Second Amendment shop. Anybody out watching this show is pro-Second Amendment. You don't want to give your money to somebody who's not pro-Second Amendment. They might be nice people. They might run a good shop. Doug and his boys run a great shop. They treat you right, fair pricing. They get your job done quick, and it's going to a pro-Second Amendment shop. Deer season coming up. Get that hunting rig in there. Get that baby tuned up. Doug will get that thing humming like a kitten for you, and you can go through, and all you got to have to worry about is filling that tag and getting that big buck.
Guns in the 701 is sponsored by The Blind Guy of North Dakota. For all your custom window coverings, you can contact them at 701-222-3932. They're freedom-minded, they're patriotic, and they love the Second Amendment. This husband-wife team was born and raised right here in North Dakota and based out of Bismarck. Again, for your Second Amendment company, for all your custom window coverings, The Blind Guy of North Dakota, 701-222-3932, or visit them on the web at blindguynd.com. All right. Yeah, well, good. Thanks to our sponsors, The Blind Guy in North Dakota and Lauer Auto Repair. Doug, Wyatt, we sure appreciate all your support.
And I would also add that if you do business with our great sponsors, let them know that you appreciate them sponsoring a show like this, getting the message out, supporting our civil rights, because they make it a lot easier for Clay and I to do this. Trust me.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. So
Keith,
you're right. I took that page from the El Rushbo, the Maha Rushi.
Clay, we went pretty heavy on the politics in the first half hour. Let's get into a little gear stuff here.
Okay, I want to show Gene.
Okay, go ahead. Read this one. Gene's here.
California has a 15-day wait. The 90s LA bank shootout. The police didn't wait 15 days to get firearms from shops when they were outgunned. Huh? Yeah, exactly. California. You got to remember some of this crazy crap. Most of it comes out of California, originates or is tried there. It don't work. I mean, look at the crime out there. I mean, we can get started. You look at Chicago, Illinois. They kill more people every weekend than we do out here in a year.
And everybody's got a gun here.
I was just going to say that everyone's got a gun. So it isn't the guns. It ain't a gun problem. Another great book, guys, if you want to read it on that, called More Guns, Less Crime by John Lott Jr. I'm telling you, that's another great read. And it kind of spells out. And he's got the new version out. Basically has all the new information over the last, 5 to 10 years. So great book. And everyone thinks I don't read.
Hey, speaking of that, let's do that. Remember I sent you that the other day there, that guy? So we're just on reading. I know I said we're going to get off politics, but we got to do this one more thing here. Remember that, Clay? What was this joker's name here?
I don't remember.
I sent you that.
Yeah.
Dang, what the heck? I think I deleted it. Yeah, anyway. Here it is. Here we go. this guy's name is Jeff Tiedrick, apparently some big social media guy, big leftist. And he tweets out on November 25th, pro tip, if you have more guns in your home than books, you're part of the problem. To which some guy looks like an MVE replies to him. Elton Jackson 8. All my guns came with owner's manuals.
Checkmate. Yeah. That's pretty awesome, ain't it?
Oh,
you know,
I do like
if you have more
I
guns
like
in your
that.
home than books, you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
I guess I'm part of the problem.
Yeah.
I'm definitely well defended, though. And
I'd tell
the
Jeff Tiedrick, it depends on what books you're reading, you freaking commie.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, because obviously, well, I mean, he's probably got more money than he'll piss away in one night than I'll make in my life, but it doesn't matter. His common sense tanks on empty. So,
all right. So let's move on.
So, all right, let's I see Keith was talking on here about keeping your AR lubed up to keep it running good. He was in war. I wasn't. He was in the desert. I've never been in the desert, but when I ran mine here, bump fire, back when bump stocks were illegal, they ran perfect. But what I wanted to talk about a little bit, if you're gonna do a build or something, you get something for Christmas, you want to do a build, either like a bolt carrier, you think, what's the big deal? Bolt carrier is a bolt carrier, right? Well, there's definitely different kinds you can get. There all kinds of companies make bolt carriers. I'm a little partial to Stags. The Stag one I got for my build, I thought it was probably one of the best bolt carriers I've seen. What you're going to look for is you get the Carpenter 158 steel is what you want to get, or the 9310. The mil spec stuff's called 8620, but just because it's mil spec doesn't mean it's the best. I can tell you that right now. Everybody thinks mil spec, that's the best. Nah. No, it's not. I mean, it's good. The mil spec means it's going to work. Not the best, but it's going to work. And the gas key, I don't know if people know what the gas key is. If you're familiar with ARs, it's on the top of the bolt. It kind of sticks up, and the gas tube comes in. When it goes off, the gas comes down the barrel and kicks the bolt back, ejects it, picks another one up. You got it. And on the side of there's 2 screws in there. What you want is these grade A screws, these grade A fasteners. But the screws, they put these divots in them to keep that screw from coming loose, which it did come loose on one of mine. It was an Anderson Manufacturing.
Was that the one we had on the Dogtown? Is that the problem with that?
No. Remember, I told you what happened there. Remember, I showed you that. I said I think I blew a primer and it was stuck in my trigger group, and that's exactly what it was. But the Anderson, people give them crap because they make cheap junk. And when the gas key came loose, but I fixed that. And all right, yeah. See, Key said nope. The lowest bidder always gets the military contract. Yeah, Colt got it for a long time, and in my opinion, one of the sloppiest ARs and M4s made. But whatever. Right. So there's some Colt fans. I think Sig might have it now. I can't remember who got the contract, but
Remington's got it now.
Who does?
I don't know. I haven't.
I thought Sig did. But okay. So another thing you want to get, if you get your bolt carrier, you're going to want a chrome line for sure. You can obviously see the chrome line inside of there. You can see that pretty easy, unless you just get like a stainless steel, like a nickel boron coated one. Those things are sweet. They're nice and easy to clean. And you're going to look for like a nitride coating. That's actually what my Stag one has. It's supposed to be way harder than chrome, and it cleans off real easy. It's super smooth. And I'm a fan of the nickel, or not the nickel, but the nitride. Then you get the MPI, magnetic partically inspected or high pressure tested. Both of those check for cracks, the integrity of the metal. I mean, most of them seem to do that to me now. I mean, do it to the bolt carriers now. And like, Clay, we were talking about you when you had the DPMS. What was the cheap one you had there?
The AP4.
AP4. Yep. Was it the AP4? Okay.
Yep.
What you're gonna want, like Clay was talking, his went to hell because he had back when the bump stocks were legal, he had that, and he had to redo a bunch of stuff on it. There is a difference between an M16 bolt and an M16 on the back. It's got like the full rounded like the flange on the back of your bolt is fully rounded, or an AR, some like that's probably cut out to make it lighter.
You should have seen that after, well, in our intro. That's what that is.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it was running good there though.
Yeah, well, it was just kind of new then, but I tell you this, they were not made for that kind of use, that kind of heat, that kind of repetition. I mean, you should have seen that. You should have seen the bolt, or I mean, that thing was hammered out, firing. It was bad. It was bad. We hammered that baby out. It just completely destroyed it. But we put it back together with a few hardened, more hardened parts, little better parts, and then it operated, like it should.
H&R. Gene said his M16 was made by H&R. You mean like the people who make the topper single shot?
Back in the 90s.
Well, there's an H&R. I've never seen one. That's news to me. I'm not
you got to remember, you and me.
Okay, see, I was right. Keith, thanks, Keith. Keith said Sig has a new contract for him. That's what I thought.
I agree. Sig, I never was a fan of Berettas, Keith. I still don't like Berettas.
Yeah, the new SIGs are awesome.
I think I owned two, and I didn't like them and got rid of them. I don't get rid of many guns, but if it's a piece of crap, it goes bye-bye.
Yeah, my buddy he's got like the knockoff. He's got the Taurus, which is even worse than that Beretta. Your guts matter, Dan. Not only in guns, you got that right, Kevin.
They do, absolutely.
But I got, because it was down to the SIG and the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0. I got the M&P 2.0 with the Apex trigger, and I feel like a freaking Jedi with that thing. It's so awesome. That trigger breaks at like 2.5 pounds.
If anybody's watched his range videos, I'm sure that's the gun you were using, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was blowing up them watermelons and the.
Jamie's dead. I tell you what, boys, you're just gonna die tired if you run away.
Even with the old 5-inch barrel, that's a sweet baby right there. I can tell you.
Jamie can handle that lung blower like nobody.
Dave figures a reliable AR is a loose one. See, man, I got ARs that are super tight, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't have a problem with them at all.
David
there's
is
no way. My Stag is. I did a video on my Stag. Actually, you can go and watch it on our YouTube or gunsinthe701.com. That was actually the first one I did. I mean, it's kind of cheesy. I mean, they all are, but that one's really. Right? I mean, it still does. I actually just let it go dry. I haven't put any oil on it since I run it. Like I said, it's got that nitride coating. It's dry now. Dry, like it'll ramble. It boy's tough to shave him dry.
There you go.
But
now, David, I can tell you, David he's a great FFL dealer, and he builds. He does a lot of builds, and and we're gonna give him a free plug. 1760 Sports right there in Mandan. But I can tell you right now, David does a lot of shooting. He's a champion now in North Dakota. I believe it was Class F. You can chime in here, David, and remind me exactly what you were doing there. But he did a lot. He did a great job.
There Gene said right there in basic training, Fort Still, Colorado issue with H&R stamped right on the receiver. Wow, that's got to be a collector's item. That's crazy, because I had an H&R topper for years. I loved it.
You see what Axe told you, Jamie?
Where's that?
10mm guy now.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I got a man crush on Clay's 10mm. That thing is freaking awesome. I think Doug kind of, that's what he said. It was spicy. That thing blew that jug right off the hook. It was pretty impressive. Yeah, it is. Man, I like that. That's a sweet piece right there.
Don't walk through my door thinking you're going to get anything down here, because it sits right here on my computer desk. Yep.
I would say too, so I know a lot of ARs, the upper and lowers are sloppy on them, and they make that stupid wedge in the back. I always hated those because they didn't work with the crap. What you want to do is your hinge pin in the front. You can buy like a 5-inch round. You can go up to Menards and get it's a O-ring. Pop that out, put it around your lower receiver. You're gonna have to squeeze it down together, but you can push that thing back, and there will be no wiggle in that sucker.
There you
go. The thing's gonna, after you take it down and clean it a few times. You can get a whole little container of these rings for like $8, and the things will probably last you, most people, the rest of their life, as much as they take them, So that's the best way to make that sucker tight, in my opinion. I found it somewhere. I can't remember. I actually got a screenshot of it from when I first had a smartphone. Whatever, 15 years ago, whenever it was, and That is the absolute best way to take that wiggle out of there. Smith & Wesson, I had a 308 Smith & Wesson AR. They had two nice little deals on the back of the receiver, these little rubber bumpers. That worked pretty awesome too, I got to say.
Yeah, no, when you talk about, ARs being tight, being loose, I guess I've owned them both. I've had, I got to say, it just depends on the brand.
Yeah.
And it's like David said over here, his Barrett, he really runs like a clock and is tight, but the fly-by-night rifles need to be wet usually. Every gun
I'd
has
agree
its
with
own
that.
little- their
I'd
own
agree
little
with
thing
that.
there. Yep.
Because I've had, some people have brought mine, and I'm like, what the hell kind of Frankenstein junk is this? Can you make this work? I'll give it a try, and I mean, I can usually get them working pretty good. But I mean, I'm better than the average bear and an AR mechanic, but I'm not, I'm not a wizard. Diamondback, yeah, Corey. You know what? I remember friends NRA, we had those Diamondback. I think they make all their own upper and lowers, and they do have nice tight tolerances in Diamondbacks. My buddy, in fact, Big R, he won the 308, and that's a sweet AR right there too.
The one Corey's got, that's what he won, that desert tan one at an NRA banquet in Lemons.
Okay.
Yeah, and that thing's been a great gun. We took it all the way to Florida and did some hog hunting with it. The gun worked fine. Don't know why the hog ran away.
Nobody hunts with assault rifles, Clay.
It wasn't the gun's fault, was it, Corey?
All right. Well, hey, now we'll really get Dave fired up here now, Dave, because Clay and I were talking barrel break, and I told Clay I wanted to talk about this. All right, what we got? Let's read Keith here. What's he got?
Yeah, I'll tell the truth, when I have to qualify for the rifle, I don't use any lube, but it's only 80 rounds, which, that's...
Yeah, like I said, he was in combat. I suppose you wanted, but just shooting, yeah. I mean, like a prairie dog town, though, Clay, when I go out, if it's windy and dusty, which is the closest thing I've ever been to a desert.
Yeah.
I'd probably go, like I said, 500 rounds, maybe 6, then I'll lube it up. But, I mean, to give it a good clean, and I get close to 1,000, and when the accuracy starts to degrade, and then I'll break it all down and clean the barrel. But we're going to talk about barrel breaking right now, right? Hey, Gene, I love Russian SKSs. Them babies are sweet, actually.
Shoot, and I'll have to tell you,
you can buy them for $80.
Gene, you should have seen the collection I got to see out at NRA headquarters. One of those guys, I forget which one it was. They had the show on Outdoor Channel. They're the two museum curators, both of them guys. One named Doug Wickland, and then the other guy. That guy's collection, I mean, you can't believe. And he also had a collection of AKs the same way, and he kept them all in his office in safes. It was kind of cool. And those were original things. I mean, he went around collecting the Russian SKSs and the AK-47s, and not just the Russian-made stuff. He was trying to get his hands on everyone. One hell of a collection that you'd probably appreciate.
Shameless plug. Dougie and I got a pretty sweet AR-15 test video out on our YouTube and our website.
Yep. You do. Well, speaking of that, let's take one more break here.
All right, and we're gonna talk some barrel break in. We got that, and we got the happy ending coming up. So,
all right, here we go.
You bet.
Guns in the 701 is sponsored by The Blind Guy of North Dakota. For all your custom window coverings, you can contact them at 701-222-3932. They're freedom-minded, they're patriotic, and they love the Second Amendment. This husband-wife team was born and raised right here in North Dakota and based out of Bismarck. Again, for your Second Amendment company, for all your custom window coverings, The Blind Guy of North Dakota, 701-222-3932, or visit them on the web at blindguynd.com. Yeah, again, thanks Wyatt and Tammy, The Blind Guy of North Dakota, and they do a great job of supporting this show. And you won't find anybody more patriotic than our sponsors right here, Doug and Tammy and Wyatt, all with Lauer Auto and The Blind Guy in North Dakota.
Look at Dave. I'll run you over with my Dave. Woo!
What's that?
I
must have missed something.
It was from a movie already. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He said pre-ban. Yeah, Daewoo AR Daewoo, or I believe Daewoos were made in South Korea. But yeah, I've read stuff about them. Daewoos are supposedly awesome. I've never shot one, but Yeah. So Clay, let's talk a little bit about barrel break-ins here. We're kind of discussing this, and my opinion on. I'll make it short, and we can get into a little more detail. I think barrel break-ins a crock of Bravo Sierra, to be honest with you. What my barrel break-in is, what I found and trust me, I've done the shoot once, clean it, shoot twice, clean it, shoot 4 times, clean it, shoot another 6, clean it. I've done all that up to 100 rounds. And I've done it, shoot 10, clean it, shoot another 10, clean it, shoot. And then I've also, the best thing that I've seen that works, that you'll get the same accuracy and all this, is when you get the gun, clean the barrel, take it and shoot it, bring it back. Get yourself some good copper cleaner. I can't remember the stuff I use. It's Montana. Something. It'll damn near knock you out if you take a big whiff of this stuff. But
yeah, actually, David sells that up there.
Yeah, the Montana Boar Pig or something it's called. Like, it works awesome.
I remember it.
You do that, and then after that, I mean, you're good for a long time until you start shooting your gun and the accuracy starts degrading. But what I did tell Clay is what I did notice about something. If you go out and clean it and go out and shoot it the range, whatever you're going to do. And I have a chronograph. You come back, decopper that barrel, take it back again. I did on both firearms I tried on. You will get the higher muzzle velocity out of it. I've noticed it to be 25 to 50 feet per second on the ones I did, and the accuracy was a little better, and it did maintain that.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that. It's like I was telling you. So I was a young little punk out of high school, and I bought my very first rifle on my own, was a Winchester Model 70. I didn't really know that much about what I should do, so I went out and shot it. Mm-hmm. I didn't run through all that break-in period and all that crap. And I can tell you right now, that's one of the most accurate rifles I still own today. In fact, it's what I shot that big buck with in deer season. In fact, that's what all the guns I own, I still reach for the trusty old 270. So, I mean, I'm sure, talking with David, I don't know if you saw the text messages when we were talking about that. He goes, it's a personal belief. He goes, yes and no. And he pointed out some of the different things he does and doesn't do. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think there's some merit to some of that, but that number fluctuates all the time. And them same people that tell me you have to break it in, you have to do this, are the same people that go buy a used gun and think nothing of it. They have no clue how that was broke in. They take it out and shoot it and see what it's like.
Right.
I don't know. I think it, you want to take care of your gun maintenance is always a good thing. I've cleaned my guns, just that, you should always clean them, but I don't know if it's necessary to do some of these break-in procedures that they talk about, because I didn't do it on that gun, and I haven't done it on a couple others, and then I've done it on some, and I can't tell you where it's any less accurate.
Well, speaking of the shooting videos, dude, I actually got one of my Ruger Ranch 223. I did just what I told you on that one. I cleaned it when I got it, took it to the range out the ranch, shot it, came back, and that thing, factory ammo. I got the video on there, and there's pictures somewhere on I don't know if it's on our Facebook page. I mean, the thing shot like pinky nail groups for me with factory soft point Fiocchi.
Wow. Oh, really? That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a bolt. It takes AR-15 mag, 30 clip assault magazine.
Well, Doug says take it out and shoot it like you stole it.
Give me one of yours, Doug. I'll do that. I have actually shot some of Doug's like that.
Well, then you'd be following them Alabama boys that are friends of ours that came up hunting. They rented a vehicle, so they drove it like they rented it or stole it. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Shooter's Choice MC7. That's what we were talking about right there. That's the stuff I think that.
Who put that on there? Eric said that it's Butch's board. I think it is Butch's actually. Eric, there's a pig. There's a pig on the outside of it, a big boar. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Actually, good stuff. I got that, and they're copper decoppering agent, and then just the barrel cleaner stuff. But yeah, if you
well, that brings up a good point, Keith. I'm pretty sure you guys there at when you enrolled with the Army and took them over to this big sandbox and got all your guns, pretty sure you sat down and broke them in and cleaned them every shot for a while, right? Yeah.
Yeah. See, when I first started getting into ARs in, I don't know, mid to late 90s, or not mid to late 2000s, actually.
Doug.
Maybe that's what. Yeah. I don't know if all of them do. Doug, I don't. Did your? Oh yeah, your 450 AR jam, but your other ones.
He
didn't.
was having some trouble down there when we were on the Dogtown a little bit.
Was it down there?
You? I thought he
No,
had.
I think
maybe
that was
maybe
just
that
me,
was just you.
Like I said though, the primer blew out of the case. So, but yeah, I used to always think that when I got into ARs, like you gotta clean them all the time. You gotta clean them all the time, and I was like, these things suck, man. I love them, but this cleaning every time sucks. So I quit doing that, and like I told you now, Clay, I shoot 500 or 600, and then I'll lube it up, and then go another 300-400, and then I'll clean them. But I think that's way overrated, to be quite honest with you. I mean, I tell you what, if my life depended on it, like if I was in war, I would probably lube it a lot more. But
I think that's probably more important than anything. And like I said, David, chime in, or any of you guys. It's it's one of them things where experience from those guys that have been out there and used them in them kind of situations, I think that they probably I'd take their advice.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Keith said they had Vietnam era rifles in Iraq. They were well broken in. Yeah, they were. Well, in fact, we had my uncle on when we were on 1270 there that time, right? He was talking about Vietnam over there with us.
Yes, he did. Yes,
he mostly was artillery, and what the heck did he call it with the radar? They'd shoot it and they'd try to see where they were coming in on it. Man, I don't know. He did some crazy stuff.
He was.
Hey, Trav rolled in.
Hey, you're late, Trav. What the heck?
Oh, wow. I tell you what. Good. I'm glad you can join us, buddy. So, all right, Clay.
As far as a break-in, it depends on what you want out of your gun, and I'm sure that has a lot to do with it too. But I also it's kind of.
I'm sorry, man. I'm not. Somebody can tell me anything. I'm not buying into it. I'm not. I think barrel break-ins is somebody's fantasy.
I think that what we need to do is maybe we need to bring this back and have someone on, have them talk a little bit about it, and maybe have two people on, one part of the first part of the show and one the second. And
maybe that's why. Maybe that's why Travis is late getting here. He was breaking a barrel in.
Wrong kind of barrel, probably.
a barrel of bourbon, probably. Right, Trav?
But what we probably should do is in this segment's, and guys, if you were wondering, yes, we still are going to plan to do our Midwest Badass segment, not tonight. We're going to try to roll that out maybe next week. We got some good stuff. I think Joe Foss is probably going to be our first guy.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of guys out there. And if you know of anybody, send us a name that you think. I mean, if you ever read about Joe Foss, my gosh, governor of South Dakota.
That's what made us talk about why we wanted to do it, right, Clay? Because we're like, absolutely. That's badass. And then we're like, you know what? We need to do like a Midwest badass.
And that guy, he fit it. So we will definitely do that next week is what we're planning to do. But this week, I think we need to have the happy ending. Oh, yeah. You ready for that?
Oh, yeah. I'm ready. Right. I'm ready, baby.
You just want to see the intro, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I love your intro.
Happy ending of the week. Here we go.
All right.
That is great.
Oh man, runs that sucker right. And like I said last week, I'm pretty sure I saw that, and that guy's like a former Marine. That's awesome.
All right, so we got the happy ending of the week.
Okay, so this happy ending is brought to you from the NRA on Friday, November 25th, 2022, around 5 p.m. in Southeast Atlanta. A homeowner encountered 4 home invaders. 4 of them. So I'm going to just put something in here real quick. If you had a double barrel, then there's 4 of them, and you got 2. What does that leave him with? No redeeming social value.
I like that.
Okay. So in fear for his life, the homeowner whips out his gun after being shot at. He shoots back. This guy wounds 3 of them, and he ends 1 of them. Police said the shooting was justified. The homeowner will not face charges. However, police said the 3 surviving low-life scumbag criminals are expected to be charged with felony murder for the death of their accomplice. How happy of an ending is that? He
That's
killed one
awesome.
scumbag, and the other 3 scumbags that he wounded are getting charged with felony, a felony because of their buddy getting
That's
killed.
awesome. That is a
Love
happy ending of the week. That
Okay,
is
Clay, let me ask you
Here
this.
it goes.
Oh,
Do that again.
the happy ending there was for the guy who was going to rob the C store because that guy didn't run one through his skull.
Keith is like, that's great.
Oh man. So Clay, that was a happy ending. I'm gonna quiz you here. How
okay.
could that have been a fairy tale ending?
Well, if all of them would assume room temperature.
Yes. That's why me and Clay can do this because we're on the same wavelength, baby.
None of this is rehearsed.
Yeah, I'll guarantee you that wasn't rehearsed. I love it.
No, that.
Hey, Mom. My mom's super show again. Thanks, Mom. Appreciate it. She's probably a little biased, though, but I appreciate the comment. Love you, Mom. Hey, Britton. Hey, buddy. All right, my buddy Britton Scheller. He's the Rudy Slayer. That's what he's writing his license plate. Britton's Rudy Slayer. But he also shoots some big muley bucks. He's a big bear hunter too. He goes every year, I think, to Wisconsin. So yeah.
And so we also, getting back to a little bit of stuff here before we go, we also take any kind of suggestions you would like to see. And we had one come in a while ago. And I guess maybe we should look at that maybe in the next couple of weeks. But that listener wanted us to do something about Fourth Amendment. And basically, Fourth Amendment is the right of the people to be secure in their persons, their homes. It's, you need a warrant. That's essentially what that is. You're going to have a warrant.
Clay. That
whole
thing doesn't
don't need
deal
that.
with things nowadays.
And I think we can actually bring that in next week a little bit with what happened at your place with a certain game warden and the law that's actually in North Dakota. And, we do kind of focus on North Dakota stuff too here.
Yep. That's
and the open fields doctrine. Now we have a legislative session coming up. And from what I hear, there may be a bill introduced to get rid of open fields again this year, which mainly that means, guys, if you take like our place here or out at your dad's place, I got to look this up, but I think it's like 70 yards is all or something. If that's beyond your dwelling, the state of North Dakota has given the power to Game and Fish and will really any law enforcement agency come on your property and do a warrantless search. And that's
ridiculous.
Not right. If you own it, I don't care if it's 10,000 acres, 2 acres, 1 acre, 100 square feet, you should have a warrant no matter what.
Right.
That is a Fourth Amendment right that we have. So yeah, I think we need to entertain doing something like that, and we can really apply this.
In
the state of North Dakota, especially.
Well, winter's long and cold, Clay. So hunting season's. Hey, Trav. Good night, Trav. Hey, Mom, if you're still listening, Trav said you're one of the best singers that he's ever heard, and he's serious. He said, "My mom is a hell of a singer for sure."
Well, that's awesome. Hey.
He's going good night. He came in and gave us a drive-by and
drive-by. It's like the drive-by media.
He's an AK guy. See, Trav's one of them guys who bought, I don't know what kind of AR he had, and it was a Jam-O-Matic. So he's anti-American rifle. He's pro-commie rifle now.
Oh, he likes them commie rifles.
Yeah.
Hey, I like this. Gene said maybe the homeowner should have used an 1100. Could have been a clean sword.
Yeah.
Yes, it could have. Got one hanging right here.
Oh yeah, love it.
Alrighty, well, we're getting out at that hour, and we'd like to keep it there. I guess I want to remind everybody that Fridays we are on now every single Friday on KFYR 550 AM radio with Mitchell in the morning. Todd Mitchell is the host of that program. And we're on for the last segment. We usually call in about 8:30 Central Time, and we get on right after that bottom of the hour break. And it's been so far it's been good. Why don't you tell the guys what we're going to be talking about on Friday?
Oh, we had a few subjects, but I think what Clay and I are mostly going to stick to with Todd is gift ideas for the hunter or the gun owner. We're gonna have some different things on there. Not just, obviously, you can say, well, yeah, you just buy them ammo, but there's
more
plenty.
things.
Are you barrel cleaning people? We got some good options for you that we're going to talk about. But we're going to talk about Christmas gifts for gun owners and hunters, and it's going to be a good show.
If my wife is listening, I really like the Tacticam.
Ooh, not
And,
bad. Hey, if
yes.
Tacticam's listening, Clay really
There we
likes
go.
the Tacticam.
That's right. We'd be more than happy to review it and have you come on board. And
It turns out Clay's got a lot of land to shoot stuff on with the Tacticam too.
Yeah, how about that? We definitely got to get out and do some coyote hunting this year. And Eric should come along because he's got just as much video equipment as we do, probably more.
What, next time you got a deer running next to your truck, I want to see you whip out your rope and get him, and then
Hey, he's still got a bow. He's still got a bow tag to fill. Well, first you take it to our sponsor, Lauer Auto Repair. Make sure it's tip top shape for deer hunting, and then you do it.
Yeah. And if you don't do it all legal, like make sure you call the blind guy so you can seal your windows up and they're not.
There you go, and he can put some good coverings on your windows. Nice way to lead in there. And
thanks, David. Yeah.
Yep,
all
thanks,
right.
Dave.
He can't rope. I got a good story about that someday about roping and my buddy Bill Beard. It's a good one from out the front. Hey, Tyson Schwab. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you jumping in and listening. Thank you.
Great. Nice to see
Tyson's,
that.
speaking of guys who shoot big deer, I don't know if Tyson still has the state record, but that man shoots huge mule deer every year. He's one hell of a hunter, probably one of the better hunters I know, and he's a great guy too.
Some pictures.
Yeah,
and guys, another thing you can do, you can email Jamie or I, just Jamie at gunsinthe701.com, and same with me, it's Clay at gunsinthe701.com. Made it real easy. Comes in. I don't think I've missed one yet, so it's kind of nice to see those come in. I want someone to try this when you're on the chat, because I know you're doing it from Facebook. I don't think you can do it from YouTube, but post a picture on there. Maybe that's how we do that. See if you can post a picture in those comments.
That's awesome.
And then we can just, I can do like this. I think I can just click on it and maybe it'll show up. I don't know. Never tried it. So Jamie knows I've been working on this. It's a little bit more in depth than what we thought, but it looks like now for our store, we're going to try to get a store page on our website at gunsinthe701.com and use, is it Venmo or Venmo or what?
Venmo, yeah. But my wife knows and your wife knows. We're just like, we're just going to put merch up and you guys figure it out.
There you go. And it seems like that's the best vehicle for that to start off with, so that if you want, you can purchase stuff right online. And how it'll work, it'll come in and then it'll be made after that. So if you're doing a T-shirt, say like this, you're probably going to be limited on colors at first, and you'll just give us your size.
I think the black and white ones look badass.
I like the black and white one. This is a colored one.
Clay's wife did our logo on a hoodie for Doug, that in black and white. That looked freaking sweet.
That turned out pretty good, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. He had the OD green, because he's an MVE-er.
That's right. I think Jamie's got it figured out where we're going to be able to do some koozies. It'll be limited, guys. It's going to be like koozies, some T-shirts. We're working on some patches for some hats.
Yep.
And doing a few things, but a lot of you have been asking, so we're gonna be moving into that and getting that stuff out. We appreciate it. That'll help keep this show going too. Yeah, and Corey, that's fine. You know us. You don't live that far away. He's like, I don't.
Yeah, you and Clay can do that under the table. Keep away from 87,000 IRS agents.
There you go. we can make that happen, Corey.
So if I got any buddies listening up in Mercer and Dunn County, which I'm pretty sure I do, and if they are not now, they will be, and they're going to be in that coyote tournament this weekend from Killdeer. You get any yotes? I want to see some pictures or video, whatever you got.
Yeah, that'd be great. We'll put them get them on the channel and.
That's another thing. Yeah.
If you guys have been on the website or haven't, please go there. Like I said, gunsinthe701.com. We did add a page for podcasts. So now you can find all them podcasts, so you don't have to go looking around, and click on it, and it should take you to the iHeart one. iHeart's on board with us. So, and being we're on K-Fire, and that's an iHeart station, we also want to make sure we promote that a little bit, but it'll make it very easy for you to find the podcast. We are on iTunes and Spotify and Amazon,
pretty much every podcast thing. So, Kenny, go ahead and send me your address. Clay and I still have some freebies left. Let me know how many you want. I'll send some down to you, buddy.
Sounds good.
Kenny's got his own wash
right.
business down there in Fargo. Can't remember, it's a truck wash or something. He's a hunter, and his son's in the military too. He's
Awesome.
he definitely one of us. We all got the same scent going. So
there we go. Yeah, we're glad to have him listening and appreciate it. Yeah, Eric.
Eric
you're
said,
right.
yeah.
I
Okay.
don't think you can do it on Commie too. All right, but yeah, if anybody's on Facebook, give it a whirl and post a picture, see if it works, and if it does, that'd be kind of cool.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Well, I guess I ain't got much else. If you want to cover the
Nope,
bases,
I don't either. I tell you what,
we're
we're gonna get done here, and then Clay, we're gonna work on the podcast, and I got to go out and finish doing a little detailing on my mule before I take that sweet piece of machinery back up to the farm. I tell you what, I might do a 2.5 year review on the mule there.
I love the Kawasaki mule.
Yeah,
I will
too.
not. And I know that, I know some of my buddies, they love Polaris. Polaris can cram it. They can get bent. I drove Polarises for a long time, and their product just got to be crappier and less built. I tell you right now, the Yamaha four-wheelers or the Honda four-wheelers are probably your two choices as far as for durability and strength. And then that Kawasaki mule, you can't beat it. I mean, I've owned 4 different brands, and the Kawasaki is by far the best, and it's the one I haven't bought yet. So that's the next one on my list.
If I got time, I'm gonna do one, and then I'll post it on all our social media. Thanks, Keith. You too, buddy. Appreciate you.
Well,
right,
I guess
with that, like close it out here with that.
Yeah, I just want to tell everybody every Wednesday night, 6:00 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 Central, we'll be on next week, and we definitely got to look here at that Christmas schedule. I guess we're okay.
Yep.
We're on the 23rd. Don't have to worry about that.
And please, people, you're listening. Like, we support our sponsors and tell them you heard it on Guns on the 701. They appreciate it, and we appreciate them. It's awesome.
The blind guy jingle. If you need some blinds, and what's he all doing there? I guess I don't really know everything.
Yeah, they do blinds and drapes, but mostly blinds. And if you do have blinds and you want some repairs done, I mean, Wyatt will do them depending on what make they are, but. Wyatt's a handy guy. I had a screw stuck actually on the skid plate on my mule, and he used his handy skills. I actually did a short on YouTube when he got it off. So Wyatt's an awesome guy. Him and I have been friends for over 30 years. He not only is a great guy, he's a handy son of a gun.
And I can tell you right now, that guy is a Second Amendment supporter.
Big time.
Back when I was an NRA rep, Jamie brought him on as a sponsor. I think he bought a table every year, if I remember right.
Yep, and if not, he definitely emptied out the pockets when he was in there.
Oh, so if you're looking, we get tired of supporting companies that hate us. Here's 2 companies that don't hate you. You go down to Laura Auto Repair and have him, get. I think he still does. I think he told me he does tires because we were talking about I was going to get some tires from him. Here after the first year, I'm going to need a set, so I'm going to get him from my sponsor. Yeah, and he does some great repair work. He's got a couple employees in there. I'm not even sure, but
I think they're all part. I think they're all kind of in on Keith and Kevin. I think are Doug's partners. But I used to bowl against Keith. He's a hell of a bowler, actually way better than me. So
I can tell you this, guys, and he can even work on your older stuff, which is great. You don't find that very often anymore. He's going to give you a fair rate. He's going to do great service. And you're going to be supporting a business in Bismarck that supports freedom, Second Amendment, everything that we believe in as we do this show. So
that's what our sponsors are. Exactly.
That's what they are. We don't take sponsors unless they're with us as far as ideology.
100%. All right, Clayton.
All right.
Give her your famous.
Yep. Thanks for listening in tonight. We appreciate all the support. Again, don't forget to go to www.gunsinthe701.com. Listen in Friday morning, 8:40 a.m. Central Time, and it might come on a little earlier. I don't know, but listen in, and we're not going to be political on there on Friday. We're going to talk about Christmas gifts for men. All right, guys. Thanks again for listening from Jamie and myself. Keep your